Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a question that comes up a lot in the world of digital product development and project management. As a PM, should you be leading your build or just administrating it? This is a key distinction because how you see your role can dramatically affect the success of your project or product and your career. My name is Susanne, and I've been launching products successfully as well as turning around troubled projects to successful go lives. I share knowledge on managing stakeholders, which can often be the most difficult part of being a PM. So let's look at the difference between leader and administrator. When I say leading, I mean taking ownership of the outcome, guiding the vision, making sure trade offs are clear, and being proactive in shaping decisions. When I say administrating, I mean more of a coordinating role, setting up meetings, tracking tasks, reporting status, and leaving the heavy decision making to sponsors and other stakeholders. Neither approach is inherently bad, but which one you lean into can make or break your project. Let's start with the administrative approach. A lot of new PMs fall into this mode because it feels safer. Your sponsor is technically accountable, right? You're just the one organizing and documenting. The administrative approach can work if your sponsor is deeply engaged and has the bandwidth to make decisions quickly. The product is relatively small or low stakes, or the environment is very hierarchical where your role is explicitly not to lead. But here's the downside. If the sponsor is disengaged or stakeholders are misaligned, you end up with a lot of activity but not much progress. You become a messenger instead of a driver. Now, let's talk about leading. Leading doesn't mean you suddenly own the product strategy end to end or that you replace your sponsor. What it does mean is you take responsibility for clarity, making sure everyone knows the why and the what next. You're proactive, surfacing risk, escalating when necessary, and even recommending solutions. You act as a translator, connecting business goals to tech realities and vice versa. When you lead, you become the person the team looks to when things are uncertain. And in digital product development, there's always uncertainty. So, how do you decide which mode to use? Should you always lead? Not necessarily. Here's a framework that you can use. For high stakes, high ambiguity project, lean into leadership. The team needs someone to cut through the noise. For low stakes, clear cut projects with a very hands on sponsor, administration might be fine. If it's a new environment where you are still building trust, you can start administrative but gradually shift into more leadership as you can demonstrate value. The sweet spot is adaptive leadership, knowing when to step forward and when to step back. So, whether you are a product manager shaping the roadmap or a project manager driving delivery, remember this. If you don't lead at least part of the way, you risk your project drifting. Administration keeps the machine running. Leadership makes sure it's going in the right direction. Personally, I find little joy in administrating, and I have always looked for roles where I can be leading an initiative, making sure I have a supportive sponsor or manager. But I have also had to take more of a backseat role sometimes, especially when I've had a detail oriented boss. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, hit like, subscribe, and share this with a fellow PM. And let me know in the comments, do you see yourself more as a leader or an administrator right now?